Greatest natural wonders of the world. If you are a lover of natural places, then this video is for you. We want to welcome you to our YouTube channel, starting with the 16 greatest natural wonders of the world. Locating all of Mother Nature's greatest hits would take a lifetime. We think these 17 places need to be moved to the top of your 2023 travel bucket list, but before continuing the list, activate the bell, leave a like and follow for more content of this type. Your support is important to us. Number 17, Lençóis Maranhenses. In a national park located in the north of Brazil, imagine a huge expanse of white sand dunes, a mix between the dunes of the Sahara and Scandinavia's bodies of water. The result is this incredible park. Number 16, Cappadocia. And are located in the heart of the Anatolian Peninsula. Here it is possible to see a lunar landscape formed by the erosion of soft layers of lava and ash emitted by volcanoes and then shaped by rain, wind, and ice over the years. The best way to see ferry paths is from above. Cappadocia in the last 20 years has become the land of hot air balloons. Number 15, Phang Nga Bay. Phang Nga Bay is located between Phuket and Krabi and is a series of rock formations. The main feature of this area are its limestone caves that seem to fly above the turquoise blue water. A tropical landscape where you can get a breath of fresh air. The most famous places in this bay are the James Bond Islands. If you want to enjoy this place, the best thing is to book one of the excursions that leave from the north of Phuket. Number 14, Angel Falls. Angel Falls, the largest waterfall in the world, is located in Venezuela. The only way to reach it is by plane or canoe. Twice as high as the Empire State Building and 15 times as high as Niagara Falls. Start the trip with a flight to Canaima, where you can enjoy the wide blue expanse of Canaima Lagoon framed by a palm-fringed beach. The next day leave by boat to reach Angel Fall. Almost all the visitors spend the night in a camp hammocks near the waterfalls. The night under the stars among the animals of the Amazon forest are as memorable as the waterfall itself. Number 13, Grand Prismate Spring. The Grand Prismatic Spring is a spectacular hot water spring located within Yellowstone National Park. The rainbow colors that characterize it make it one of the most visited attractions within the park. The water reaches a temperature of 70 degrees Celsius. Its color is due to the presence of some bacteria in the water. As you will have understood, it is strictly forbidden to swim. Number 12, Plitvice Lakes. Plitvice Lakes are the oldest park in the Republic of Croatia. The process of formation of travertine, responsible for the tuffaceous barriers thanks to which lakes are created, represent a unique and exceptionally valuable phenomenon that has earned Plitvice Lakes international recognition. Number 11, Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest peak of the Asian continent and the Earth, with its altitude of 8,848.86 m above sea level. 1. Together with other 8,000ers, it is located in the Himalayan chain, on the border between China and Nepal, and is part of the so-called 7 peaks of the planet. On Everest there is a lack of oxygen. The base camp from which you start for the summit is at 5,364 meters. If you don't get your body used to this deficiency, altitude sickness can get the better of it. Many of the strongest mountaineers in the world have stopped for this very reason. Some decide to go up helped by cylinders, but, as he says, reaching high altitudes means not only breathing with greater difficulty, but also having real illnesses. It is necessary to be physically prepared and used to making physical efforts with a lower oxygen supply. So if you are not an expert mountaineer, we strongly advise you not to climb it, as it may not be a pleasant experience. Number 10. Chocolate Hills. The best known tourist attraction on the island of Bohol in the Philippines are the Chocolate Hills. There are 1,268 hills, small mounds similar to each other, between 30 and 50 meters high. These formations in the Philippines have a rather suggestive name, Chocolate Hills, because the hills are usually covered by green meadows which dry up in the autumn season, giving the hills the appearance of many heaps of cocoa. Number 9. Meek Crater Lake. Meek Crater Lake. A mountain that has become a lake. Can a mountain become a lake? It's not a frequent occurrence, but it happens. In fact, it happened in Oregon. About 7,700 years ago, it was hit by a massive volcanic eruption. Emptied of its contents, the top of the mountain collapsed, leaving a deep depression in its place. Over hundreds of years, water and snow filled the basin, creating the spectacular blue lake we see today, of incredible transparency and clarity. A giant mirror. Number 8. Great Barrier Reef. Is the largest expanse of coral in the world, made up of over 2,900 individual reefs and 900 islands. It extends into the Pacific Ocean for 2,300 kilometers, covering an area of approximately 344,400 km superscript 2.1. It is one of Australia's biggest tourist attractions. Known for its extraordinary beauty, it was declared a World Heritage Site in 1981, as well as an Australian National Heritage Site in 2007. It is 2,600 kilometers of pure wonder, the largest living structure on Earth, visible even from the moon. You cannot miss one of the 7 wonders of the natural world. Above all, because in a few years this great jewel could disappear completely, due to climate change, pollution, fishing, oil, and the presence of creatures hostile to the environment. Number 7. Antelope Canyon. Antelope Canyon is the most visited slot canyon in the southwestern United States. It is located on Navajo land near Page, Arizona. Antelope Canyon is a slot canyon, i.e. a very narrow canyon, carved out over the millennia by the action of water. It takes its name from the antelopes that until a few decades ago roamed undisturbed in and around the canyon. It is located on a Navajo reservation a few miles east of Page in Arizona and is one of the natural wonders of the American West. It is one of the most photographed places in all of the United States. There are 2 sections of Antelope Canyon open to visitors: Upper Antelope Canyon south of US 98 and Lower Antelope Canyon north of US 98 itself. Both Upper and Lower Antelope Canyons are in the Navajo Nation and are managed by the Navajo. Both are accessible only and exclusively with guided group tours using one of the authorized companies. Number 6. The Pinnacles Desert. Pinnacles and an Australian desert, i.e. a vast sandy surface where thousands of limestone pillars rise, called precisely pinnacles, produced by the accumulation of fragments belonging to marine organisms, such as corals and mollusks, and whose origin dates back to millions of years ago, is still much debated today. Some of these formations can even reach 4 meters in height and take on the most varied forms. The park is also home to a variety of wildlife, including gray kangaroos, red kangaroos, dingoes, honey possums, and red foxes, as well as several species of birds and reptiles. Number 5. Marble Caves. Marble caves. The erosive action of the water creates astonishing decorative motifs inside the marble caves. Marble caves located on the shores of General Carrera Lake, a glacial lake on the border between Argentina and Chile, in the Patagonia region, fed by the melt waters of the glaciers of Cordillera of the Andes, containing small particles which, during the melting, remain suspended in the water. creating an unusual effect that gives the place a magical, otherworldly dimension. The glacial meltwater is slightly turbid and refracts the blue part of the sunlight, resulting in shades that vary, from turquoise to midnight blue, depending on the weather and the time of year. In early spring, when the water is low and the glaciers have not yet started to melt, the chromatic effect is completely different from what occurs during the melting of the glaciers, when the water level rises more than 1 meter. Number 4. Na Pali Coast. The Na Pali Coast is a very little known coast, that's why we have chosen to give you some information. The Na Pali Coast is a national park in Hawaii. Given its conformation, it is not accessible to vehicles, but it is still accessible to admire its pristine beauty. There is a path that allows hikers to reach the coast by land, but it is not practicable by any means other than your feet. That's why trekking lovers will find a true paradise on this island. If you want to visit the coast by sea, you will have guided tours on board, rigid boats or catamarans, mostly coming from Port Allen and Hanalei Bay, but you can also opt for kayaks, which will take you close to the high cliffs. This way, you can admire the natural beauties up close. Number 3. Maldives. The Maldives are located southwest of India, in the middle of the Indian Ocean. The islands which form this archipelago extend for 774 km in length and 188 km in breadth, and are divided into 26 natural atolls and 202 inhabited islands. The Maldives are made up of 26 atolls, which include inhabited and uninhabited islands. Each island is a true paradise on earth, expanses of beaches of very fine sand, very green coconut palms, an emerald sea, pristine coral reefs, where you can swim among clownfish, pufferfish, angelfish, but also among turtles, whale sharks and starfish, which are particularly colorful here. Number 2. Big Sur. On the central coast of California, close to the Pacific, there is one of the most famous scenic roads of the United States in the world, an impressive stretch dotted with cliffs, which rise above RHE impetuous and bombastic sea at a height of between 500 and 1,000 meters. The most famous scenic byway in America. However, the term Big Sur refers not only the famous cliffs on the sea present only a portion. Number 1. Aurora Boreal. The aurora borealis, occurs in the northern hemisphere of the planet, is one of the most fascinating natural phenomena that occur on the globe. The main characteristic of the optical event in question is that it is formed by bright bands of colors and shapes that change over time, and in space these trails are called auroral arcs and usually turn red, green, blue,